and welcome to TQ Talks, where we talk taxes and tax-free living 365. Here are your hosts, Craig White, Sebastian Singh, and Patrick Augustin.
And we're back with another TQ Talks.
And we are happy to be back and happy to have everyone with us. Guys, if you don't know, we are a tax and advisory firm. We say this on all of them, man. We always start off with this because we want people to understand that our job is to help you reduce the taxes you may owe, right, as business owners or as individuals. And also, if God's willing, help you to increase the amount of money you guys get back on your taxes legally. So we're giving you a lot of gems, hopefully, on how to do that. The advisory side, we're trying to use life insurance to the best of our ability to give you ways that you've never thought about or never been taught, more importantly, and how to use that as a leveraging tool to build wealth for yourself and the generations to come.
And hopefully one of our taglines is to live a tax-free life.
Ooh.
Yeah, we call that tax planning.
Yeah, to get there.
Life. I like tax-free life to some degree, but we won't get into that today.
Right. We can't be too literal with that one.
I don't know about that.
No, we need you to pay legally, but
yeah, and the voice you hear right now, you guys know if you haven't been with us before, that's Sebastian Singh, Mr. Bassi that was speaking, and the intro was with Mr. Patrick over there talking about we're back with TQ.
We're here.
There you go, right?
Always good to have Pat with us.
Always, and we're happy these. Again, staying with us for the full haul. This is going to be a very
He'll be
interesting
here, man.
thing,
Don't be talking about Pat. He's right here.
Yeah. We're trying to get rid of him, but he
And
seems
this is
to
the
be
PG
staying.
version. Wait till
We're
we get that
no,
R-rated.
when we get a Showtime special, then Cinemax or HBO, then maybe at that point you guys will get the full Patrick. Until then, we're working on a book
we
for
need
you
that
guys,
HBO
man.
deal,
Right.
that Showtime deal.
So again, we're always looking at topics that you guys are sending us via email, DM, messages, whatever the case is, and it's great. We love having them. One of the things that we were talking about, as we always do in our groups, that got Sebastian a little bit rattled was funny. I said,
I didn't think we were bringing that back up.
oh, yeah, we were talking about good debt, bad debt, and I said, we're just having that discussion, and apparently we were on the same page mentally because he says, man, I don't even like blah blah blah. I'm not gonna say the person.
Right.
I don't know.
We could say it, man. There's some people that the financial world looks up to. Whether
Robert.
You're, right, Robert. I'm
not gonna mess up his last name.
Yeah,
I like your
exactly.
book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I'm not knocking it.
And
I
then,
honestly do.
and I also mentioned Grant Cardone.
Yes.
Or Cardone. I don't remember
Yeah.
how to say it.
Cool.
Either way,
Good
it's
info.
in my mind they're almost extremist on the way they approach things or tell people to approach things, because a lot of people cannot follow their strategies.
Right.
They
But
just
the other thing
aren't able
you gotta
to
be
in the time.
mindful of is that's their reality.
Correct.
You know,
So that's a good
they're
point.
trying to impose their reality on
or
us,
maybe not even
on their
impose.
listeners. Yeah.
They're giving us everything they know. Might be part
Yeah.
of it. You know what I mean? So that got me annoyed because I'm like, man, every time someone sends us a video, either IG, text us, whatever it is, and they're like, hey, is this true? Yes. Does it work for you? Maybe, maybe not. Most of the time, in my mind, no.
So resounding. Wah, 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 wah. We need our button.
Yeah,
Wah, wah,
no.
wah.
We need Liam here to
Yeah.
hit it. So before we go any further, let me just read the definition of what we got here of good debt. Good debt is defined as money owed for things that can help build wealth or increase income over time, such as student loans, mortgages, or a business loan. While bad debt refers to things like credit cards or other consumer debt that do little to improve your financial outcome.
Wow.
Now focus on that a little bit, though, because they brought up credit cards. If you need a camera to film something because you are a videographer, that could teeter, right?
Right.
It can be good debt. It can be bad debt, depending on how you utilize it.
Right. So the good debt is to help you improve your financial situation, if I'm summarizing right.
Yeah.
Bad debt just drives you further into the hole.
Correct.
So let me ask you, because here we go, the teetering. The first one you said sounded like student loans.
Yeah.
Aren't we dealing with something right now with Biden trying to cancel? You know, we post all that. I'm just talking trash.
Well, I don't have. I wish I had some stats in front of me. The overall goal is that a society that's more educated will make more money. Is student loan debt the way to get there?
And
I'd say no, and I have a ton of it.
So, but you have a master's degree. So the question that I have on that, and we'll get back to your good debt, bad debt, because now you're throwing all types of stuff. So a more educated society. So what makes college the education that's
That's what
a
I'm
necessity?
saying. It might
Oh.
not be the student loan avenue.
Approach,
It
right?
might
Trademark.
not be the college
What is it?
avenue.
Trade schools. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on
The
your
person.
perspective, though.
Oh, okay.
If the good debt is a student loan versus meaning when I say that meaning that the career path you're taking that might pay for itself.
Right.
Mike, we've seen some people that
Quite a few. But let's not listen, let's not run away. Let's not run away. All right.
sorry,
If you're a nurse, you gotta go to college.
right?
If you're an engineer, there's certain career paths, like Pat is saying, that's where you have to go.
And that's a good debt,
Yeah,
as defined.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because it will get you to your financial goal.
Got you. So a bad debt would be what?
Bad debt would be to go to school for a ton of time and then come out and do something that's
Totally the opposite.
that you don't use your degree for.
Exactly.
It doesn't benefit in any way.
So based on what you're saying, that's a vast majority of people that go to school to a 4-year degree.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
based on stats. 'Cause
Yeah, we're
I know
not
those
going
stats.
against that.
Okay, yeah.
They statistically they're supposed to make more money, but again, statistically you're supposed to follow your career path. If you got a degree in something and
Right.
you go into that field, then
Yeah, naturally.
that would be your good debt.
Wow, that's okay. Great. So then,
The second one though that came up was mortgages, and then the third one that we put up is a business loan.
right. Okay. Well, I mean, as examples, and again, there's multiple guys. It's irrelevant, but
Yeah, but let's just say with the business loan, if you're smart enough, you know how to try to leverage that money.
got you.
So that's a positive example of good debt. It's leveraging the money that you're able to borrow, and hopefully you got some decent credit,
Right.
and make some good decisions with that debt and increase your wealth,
All
or try to increase your wealth.
So if we could step back a second. So you brought up those two gentlemen, Robert. I'm messing up his name. Please don't forgive
Just
me.
call him
sir.
Robert.
Robert and
Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy.
right, and
Author.
and Grant Cardone, and they are defined as rich, right? Is
Correct.
that fair? Okay.
Wealthy almost.
So the rich people or wealthy people, because there's two different distinctions, but
Yeah.
those people that have more money than we're used to are saying continuously that bad debt is not bad or debt is not bad. You guys need to figure out the difference between good debt and bad debt.
Yeah.
And the Robert gentleman constantly talks about, which I listen to him all the time in podcasts. Listen,
Yeah, anything he's on.
yes, I do. I like
Give him
listening
a
to everything. Doesn't mean
chance.
I agree with everything, but I listen to it. He's constantly explaining the fact that if you're not borrowing money and using that money to then get an asset that's producing money, then you're not that intelligent, to be kind. That's what he says, right? And you're wasting your time and your money and your efforts. And I would say that I agree to most degrees. I say, yes, you know what? We should do it. I also have the side of me, and you guys can chime in whenever, that says, well, hey, some people just aren't comfortable. The world is not full of 40 billion entrepreneurs and one person who's
Correct.
working a 9 to 5. So, hey, thank you for your
Information.
your perspective, but maybe
Right.
you can tone it back a little. But again, I think he's really just trying to get to people. Again, these people are really narrowing in on the fact that that information is what they have based on their experience, and you guys can all fit in, meaning everyone can fit into that experience. I don't know if it's horrible, right? But I do think that there is the definitive good debt, bad debt. I think there is. Again, within reason. You know, you gave examples of how one could be both. you know.
Right. And let's not forget that these people have teams of accountants telling them
Right.
what they can do,
Right.
what they cannot do, and what can be written off, what cannot. So the things they say, again, to your point, maybe like taglines or overall concepts. And if it comes down to you, your specific business or one that you want to get into, please consult somebody and figure out which avenue would be best for you.
Right. So the reason I'm apprehensive when I hear that is because we talk about all the time how information is now readily available, and all social media platforms plaster things. Everyone is an expert in everything.
Right.
We did a skit yesterday. I was listening. I forgot the guy's name is A-Pad or whatever this is on his underscore, whatever. But he was talking about how everybody who has a podcast is a professional. They tell you, wake up at 3 a.m, do that. And it was hilarious because he was right. But the crazy part is, I'm always on there, right? Because I have no choice of posting stuff. But
Right.
the thing is, you don't have any idea how many people talk about how you can get a credit card and open up your line of
Man,
credit with
and you
the
know what?
bank.
I
and
hate the
get-
captions because the
Right.
cat 100K, 100K.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Then
they
you have
make
like
it
$4 million worth of credit.
Right. So here's where an example of those influential gentlemen giving probably good information hurts society. Then a bunch of
Oh,
people try.
pause.
Go ahead.
When you say hurt society, when I wanted to chime in before you got to this topic was their listening group. The majority of their listening group are worker bees.
You think so?
I would assume so because the crazy questions we come across, like, it doesn't pertain to you.
Right. But
Man,
yeah.
I like that, Pat, because what happens is the people we get because we have a ton of small business owners. We have a
Right.
ton of entrepreneurs.
Right.
We have a ton of these people in our client base.
Okay.
We don't get the crazy calls from them.
No.
We speak to them, we update them, whatever. The crazy calls come from someone who's doing a 9 to 5 and is trying to
Escape?
write off their car
Right.
under their business that they don't have.
Right. But
And they're not working on or you know what I mean?
But here-
They
but
just
here we
don't
go.
call
Here's follow-
because they watched the podcast.
fair enough. But follow go plug. But here's the cycle. The two gentlemen we spoke about and many others say, here's what you do with good debt. Excuse me. You take the debt, you borrow against it. It's not your own money. Use other people's money. You the bank,
Right.
whatever the case is. And then they get this information and pretending myself and Patrick hear it and we go, oh, you know what we could do? We could borrow against it. Guess what we
Sure.
do? We throw out the information on our channel. You should get. Here's 5 banks that give you $14 million worth of credit in 2 days, and they pile up this information. Now, as Pat always alludes to, they don't give you all the stuff.
Right.
So you turn around and say, oh, man, I can do it. And let's pretend they make it past step 2, and they get the money.
Sure.
Is that good debt or bad debt?
Horrible debt.
And therein is why I
Yeah.
made my statement,
It's to
Patrick.
Pat's plan or Pat's word all the time. There's no planning. What are you doing?
But that's why I said it's a bad thing for society.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you gave a whole bunch of people who don't understand
That information,
anything
yeah.
about it the money. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to swim in more debt.
Yeah.
These people, let's shift back to what we're doing, are taking this debt that they're talking about,
Right.
not the people that are not understanding. We're talking about Robert and Grant. They're turning around and buying commercial assets. Why are we
correct,
buying commercial? Because commercials, I could turn around and borrow the money again. Boom, here goes our debt again. And I could turn around and improve my property and turn back to the bank and say, look, it's improved and it's $1
Give
million.
me more.
Give me more money.
That's right. And guess what? The money that I get back from the bank, we're not going to go into it right now, is tax-free. Why? Because I created a second loan, another loan, a new loan for a higher amount. The bank
Yep.
gives me the difference, and I don't have to pay that crap back. And guess what they're going to do? These same people we're talking about, Robert and Grant, again, shout out to people, we're not knocking them. They're going to go back and buy
Another
asset.
one. DJ Khaled.
And they're going to keep
It's
running
buying
it.
another property, not a Wraith.
Right. Yeah.
right. Not another Maserati
Right.
or anything.
Right. So the good debt, bad debt concept is huge, and I think it's true if you understand what you're doing. with it.
Exactly.
Right.
So bad debt is bad. Yeah, if it drives you in a hole, we don't want that. But if you learn, as Pat said, to leverage the money and to use it in the right avenues, it can be very, 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 very powerful tool for you. It just can be.
So learn the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Set out your plan.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself and consult. I'm always going to say and consult
Right.
with somebody
Right.
or us.
Right.
Yes.
TQ Financials. You can find us everywhere.
You are just plugging on.
Yeah, well, before you even step out there, right? Get
Yeah.
this information. Go ahead and listen to everybody. Write it down. Compile it.
Right.
See if it'll work for you.
Right.
Consult somebody. Call us. Most of the people that we get our calls from, or most of the ones that just take the information off that and then don't do any background research,
Right.
it can't qualify for. But you do have to plan. You do have to consult.
Because everybody like us, we go to barbers.
Correct.
The women, they go to a salon.
Sure.
Just ask them a question. Who do you use?
Right.
Who would you recommend?
Right.
Ask.
Right there. Just
and,
ask.
And let's be frank. I'll be quite honest. Guys, listen, half the time, none of this stuff applies to any of you people.
Yeah.
Anybody, right? Rich people might not be you. It might not be us. We might not be in that part of our lives where we can do the things they're doing. I think that's probably the
Correct.
scary part
Correct.
is that
There are levels.
Right. You see it and you say, oh, I can do that.
Sure.
Nah, not really. 'Cause
Not
you're
yet.
Yeah. Not
Let's
yet.
say not yet. Right.
Not
'Cause
yet. I like that. Not yet. Because we
that's
want you to
our
get
aim.
there. That's the goal, right? Is to give
Yeah.
people information they get there. But it
Financial
might
freedom.
not be where you are. Rich people operate differently for several reasons. You know who I want to bring up? Who just said they're going to end up running for office again? Your best friend, Patrick. Mr. Trump, right? We talked.
I knew you were talking to Patrick. I knew you were talking to him.
I know. Don't get into it. Don't listen to me. I'm just poking the bear. But let's
now you're gonna bring that PG.
No.
We got to get a new rating.
Rated R. The reason I bring him up is because he is always at the apex of controversy for his foolishness. And hey, I agree with that. But here's the part I say to people. He's rich. Whether he's lying or not, he has money.
Sure.
And he has a great team.
Yep.
His team makes him smart. Period, point blank.
Not to get into that too deep, because y'all already know
I'm going on the debt portion, by the way.
But he has a ton of assets. Yes. So he utilizes exactly what these people are talking about.
Leveraging.
To leverage, right? Not to go in his pocket to make another purchase or improvements or a vacation.
That's right. Hate it or love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hate it or love it.
Right.
So again,
know the code, use the code.
Right. Not provoking anyone, not just doing it to, I guess I can say piss people off because I don't know, he's not. So it's because when you look at people, please understand that there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts in the background that we might not be privy to. Right. And I say we because we're not rich. Are we comfortable? Yep. Thank you, Jesus. I'm not complaining. We have our, embroidered shirts on. We're sitting in our office on our bikes. I'm being quite honest, right? Nice building, nice location, but we're not rich. We're comfortable. And at the end of the day, we know a lot, but we sure don't know as a lot as them. So we're trying to learn and we're trying to give you guys as much information. So be smart, guys, in the things that you do and decisions you make with loans and other debt that you might incur. If it's not helping, it's bad debt. Period, point blank.
That's it.
And to Pat's point, always educate yourself on everything.
All right. So again, thank you guys for joining us for today's episode. We love having you. We hope the information is helpful to you, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Please share it out, comment, ask questions if you need to, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Get it out.
And anything that you find useful, send out to your people because they might be able to get something out of it as well.
There you go.
Peace out. Deuces.
Later, guys.
Thank you for listening to TQ Talks. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information at TQFinancials.com.